welcome to episode 40 of FrannyDoMakes. My name is Fran. This is my channel where I talk about everything that I've been making and crafting over the last 2 weeks. Mostly knitting. Today it is mostly knitting, but I have got some extra goodies. So yeah, I have I have a finished object. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 works in progress. Acquisitions, because we did go to Jardin at the last weekend, even though I said I wasn't going to go, but I did anyway. And yeah, so if that's your kind of thing, grab a cuppa. I've got a lovely cup of tea. It's salted caramel Lebkuchen from Bird and Blend, so I'm getting my Christmas fix already. I didn't have anything autumnal, so that was the closest I could get to. It's got sort of spices in it. So, we are in October. Not that you would know, it's absolutely glorious sunshine out there in Leeds today, in the north of England, in West Yorkshire. And yes, I've got some washing on the line. And I'm a little bit warm, truth be told, but it's warm / cold. Do you know that kind of, they're the best kind of days. You know, where it's really sunny, but there's a chill. That's my favourite kind of day. So, yes. If you have the burning need to find me anywhere else in the internet, here we go. You can find me online as FrannyDoMakes, so the @FrannyDoMakes if you're on Instagram or Ravelry, and here. And there's also a website which is www.frannydo.co.uk, which has everything in regards to show notes, so links to patterns and yarns and things like that. I apologise, last time I was quite late in uploading the show notes, so if you went on there and it wasn't there, I'm sorry. It is all up there now, and I don't know how quickly it will be on at the moment, but I do put all the information for the patterns at the bottom of the screen, so, and please message me if it's not on there to find out more. So below you will find links to the show notes, you will find links to my Ko-fi account if you'd like to support the channel further, and anything else is Ravelry links and things like that. So if you want to know anything else, just look down below or give me a message. So yes, I hope we're all well. I hope everyone is doing okay. I hope you've had lots of crafting. No, let me just move you there. I hope you've had lots of crafting done over the last few weeks. I've been a bit of a Castonitis kind of person, which was quite foolish considering the month ahead we're going to have, which we will get into. That was good. I did finish one project. I'm nearly... no, I'm not nearly finished, but... Anyway, let's get into it. So, as I said, I have a finished object. So, this is a pair of socks. It is a pair of socks for my husband, Mr. B, and it is a pair of Fluorite Socks. There are 2. So, this is the pattern Fluorite by Andrea Mowry, which is worked as a reverse stockinette pattern. Now, I did follow the pattern. Did I? Do you know, I don't think I did. Basically, what I did is I knitted a pair of socks inside out with a, what's the heel called? A Fleagle heel. So, I'm not sure what parts of this are in the pattern itself, but I did a Turkish cast on and I knit... I increased until I got to 64 stitches. Now that is not a stitch count that is in the pattern, that's just what would fit. So I tried and errored a few times, but then I got the right amount. So 64 stitches, I'm using a 2.25 needle. Things to be said though, this yarn was a sock tube. No, it wasn't, it was a sock blank. So the yarn did have some memory, so it did make the gauge a little bit looser, I would say, than a normal 2.25, so possibly these might have been smaller if the yarn had been not previously knit. So yes, and then I don't know how I turned it round. I think I did sort of a short row, like a German short row kind of thing, and turned to work the other side. because in the pattern she says to purl the toe and then knit the rest of it, and I was like, I don't want to purl a toe, so I didn't. So yeah, and then I just knit, did the heel. I'm not sure if they're the same because I didn't write down what I actually did because my stitch numbers were not in the pattern, so I kind of fudged it. So I'm not really sure what to tell you about those, but they're there and they fit. So you work a gusset from the toe up here, and then you do like short rows to make the heel. So it was quite an interesting construction. It's quite a nice heel. It seems to fit okay. And then I went up the leg and then did a 2x2 rib. Now you can probably, I don't know if you can tell, but one of them is about half a centimetre longer than the other one. Maybe that one is just slightly, I think the way I blocked it, it might have evened out a bit, but one of them is slightly longer. But I did count the rows and it seemed like they were the same, and they look okay there. So yeah, 2 socks. The yarn is from Noodle Soup Yarns, and it was, as I said, a sock blank in the colourway Grunge. There we are. So it was, I have got a picture, so I'll put that up. It worked up as like it had 2 sides that were the same, the sock blank, so I wound them into balls or cakes, whatever you like, and then I did half and half, so they would be the same, the socks would be the same, which they've worked out fairly even, I think. So there we go. So they are blocked and they can now come off the blockers. I've already woven in the ends, I just need to trim off the end bits, and that can go to Mr. B, ready in time for if we actually have some autumnal weather. There we go, it's there for him. Right, so that's my only finished item. I think, what had I finished? Had I finished something last time? I just finished my Pure Joy, hadn't I? And I didn't really have a great deal on the needles at the time. So, I was working on a pair of socks for my sister. So I'm going to go into my works in progress now. So there's a few new cast-ons in here. In fact, there's 3 new cast-ons for you. So I have finished the first sock of these. Kind of jealous of them. I kind of want to keep them for myself, but they are for my sister. So these are is it Le Jardin garden in French, basically. Le Jardin socks by Chit Knits. They have this lovely flower stitch pattern going up the front. The back of the leg is like a wide rib, but the bottom is just stockinette. A heel flap and gusset. A 2x2 rib, and I think I chose the more rounded toe. Let me check my notes. With a more rounded toe, so I finished at 20 stitches and then did the Kitchener. So I didn't do I was worried about running out of yarn because it was only a 50 gram. I'm sure I'll be fine, but I didn't do that long a leg on them, so, but you know. So there we go. So it's the first sock finished, and the second sock I'm just coming down from the top and doing the leg. So when it's not on the blocker, it's a little bit hard to see that stitch pattern, but when it blocks out, oh, it looks so nice. And with this yarn, so the yarn is from, I got the little, yes I have, Coastal Creative Links. Hand-dyed yarn for all things crafting and more, which is called Halloween Spell. Oh, apologies for my nails, mini painted them at the weekend and That's why they look like that. Come on. Here we go. So Halloween Spell. It was a sock set with this green. There we go. And yeah, I'm really enjoying them. It's a bit hard to see in the evenings, so I do wear my neck light to knit with it. And it took a while for me to realise that you do need to do your, so the pattern, it's a two row repeat. So one row you do the sort of stitch to make it fancy, and the next row you just knit. And in the row that I was knitting, you need to do that a little bit looser through those stitches that you do in the fancy bit too. But yeah, I'm really pleased with my Kitchener, and it looks fairly neat. Yeah, I'll be sad to part with those. Yep, so they're with a 2.5 needle. Just so there's plenty of room in them, with them having a stitch pattern on them and they're not just plain. So and they're living in this lovely Halloweeny bag, which is from, can you see that? Coffee and Yarn Cakes. There you go. With little Halloween owls on that. So that's my first work in progress. Oh, we've not done what's on the wall. What's on the wall today is my doodler. That's a pattern by Stephen West. It was one of the mystery knit-alongs in the past. But yeah, it's a lovely, it's one of his smaller ones. And a good use of just 3 skeins of yarn. There you go. So the colours are Truly Hooked, Duckling and Blue Lagoon, and this one in the middle is from Adventures in Yarncraft, and it's called Cocktail Sunrise. What next? I have another pair of socks. This is in another Coffee and Yarn Cakes bag. This one has My Neighbour Totoro, which I love this bag. So in here is my Strictly socks. So if you watch Little Drops of Wonderful, lovely Ali over there, she's doing a Strictly sock along for the time of Strictly. I have got the official yarn, which is from Green Lambkin. It's a sparkle yarn. Don't know if you can see it. It is so sparkly. Well, when I'm knitting on an evening and I've got my light on, it looks so sparkly. So yeah, it's from Green Lambkin. And it is called Ballroom Bliss. And I am knitting a pair of Flossie socks, which is a pattern by Jools from So Sweet Violet. And I can put this on the block and you can see. So I've started, it's a toe up pattern with a Godet heel. So I chose that because there's often Godets on the dresses in Strictly. So, oh, let me just do it that way. So you start toe up with a beanie heel. So this is a different heel to what I've done normally. So you increase all the way around, not just at the edges. And then it has these twisted stitches going up either side of the sock. And the toe is a contrast colour. So I've used, I thought this went quite nicely with it. So this is some leftovers from my advent calendar from Ducky Darlings. I believe it's called Miss Gulch, this colour. It's just a very light mauve, light. It's not lilac. I'd say it's like a mauve. So there you go. You can see the increases in the toe there. So I am currently doing the gusset increases here for the Goldie heel, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be similar to a Fleagle. It's working the same way, I think. But it's probably got a slight variation, hence why it's got a different name. So yes, they are the Flossie Socks by Jools Hill of So Sweet Violet. And I'm knitting, it's 2.25 needle, 64 stitch count in there. So they're all my socks. So I'm generally knitting on my Strictly socks when I'm watching something to do with Strictly. Although I might cheat with my Goldie heel because that's a dancing clothing term. I'm going to do it. So, next up is... Okay. I cast this on and it's sort of... I worked on it for about a week and then it's kind of not... I kind of left it for a bit. So this is a cowl pattern. And it is using this beautiful yarn. Isn't that lovely? So this was, I think, a one of a kind. It was from Lay Family Yarns and I got it from East Anglia Yarn Fest. I think that's where I got it from. So I am making the, with my tea. This is the Bobbles cowl and it's by Locatelli. I was going to save this and do it for the, through October there's a mini knit along in the fall knit along that she does all through September, October, November. And knit that, but I kind of just wanted an interim thing while I was waiting for the Stephen West mystery knit along to start, and then I just sort of wanted to cast on something else. But that's it so far. So it's worked with short rows and eyelets and little bobbles on the side. So it's a similar construction method to the Pure Joy in terms of the short rows, but you do them on one side and then you do them on the other. So it has this sort of zigzag of little eyelets in it. So yes, I'm using a 3.75mm needle. So there was no colour name on the ball band for Lay Family Yarn. Yarn, so I think it was just a one of a kind. It was in like a bargain box when I got it. But it's really lovely. And I think it'll be nice in that cowl. I was going to maybe make it and give it to my friend for her birthday in October, but I don't think I'll get it finished. So it might have to just... I've lost a project. Oh, it's fallen under my chair. It might have to just wait. Who knows? I might surprise myself. Oh, I look a bit pasty. Anyway, so I also cast on another project, which is living in this beautiful bag from lovely Jackie at Soft Accents. Oh, let me show you her tag. You see it? There she is. And this has my Vibes tee. So this is the Vibes tee by Tif Neilan. It's a t-shirt pattern and it came out earlier in the year. And I was going to knit it with, look at this, look at me. I have been swatching. So I was going to knit it with this yellow fluff because I'd seen Kelly from Lay Family Yarn, Lay Family Diaries is it called on here? Or Lay Family HQ, or I can't remember. Anyway, but she was knitting one of these, she was test knitting it, and she had used some fluff in hers. So I'd done the swatch, I knit it in the round magic loop, and then I just cut the edges, and it's not fraying anything really, but it's only a swatch, isn't it? So yeah, which I liked, but I wasn't sure if the yellow was kind of taking over a little bit. Matches my glasses. So I decided to sub it for an orange. So I have cast on. I managed to get gauge. I've cast on. So you start with a long tail cast on, and then I think you pick up and knit the neckband afterwards. So you have some eyelets, and you have some plain and just stripes basically. So I changed the yellow to this orange, and I think it goes really nice with these colours. So my colourways are, the orange is from Cascade Heritage. This is called Mango. This is from Stash. The blue is from Truly Hooked, and this is Duck Egg. It's from Stash. The dark blue is some leftovers. This is also Cascade Heritage. This is in navy. This is leftovers from my Twist and Turns. And the pink is just a mini. Do you know, I think this is leftover from my shawlography. It's blowing out horrendously. Oh, that's no better, but anyway, there you go. It's a bright fluorescent pink. So yes, it's fully from Stash, and I'm enjoying it. It's simple, just knit, knit, knits. There's some increases. So yeah, it does look like here that your gauge changes. I remember Kelly saying about this. So here it looks like looser to here. But that's just where you do the increases, so I don't know, maybe it'll work itself out in the blocking. So yeah, I've got some needle stoppers on there. They were from the Lonely Knitter, little mouse ones. Yes, so that's my other project, which will probably be on the needles a while, to be honest. But I'm not in a rush for it. It's a tee rather than a sweater, so it can. I'm making the size 3. Oh no, I'm not. Well, yeah, it's the 3rd size. It's a medium, so it's the 3rd size. So I've got my yarns on there, so I know which one is which. And yes, there we go. So that's my other work in progress. So that's all my current works in the works. So next is going to be some acquisitions. So yes, like I said, I didn't plan to go to Yarndale, but I kind of got the FOMO, and I was thinking, I didn't have anything else to do, and Minnie was going to a party. So I thought, I'll get a ticket, and then Rachel from This Nitty Life, who is also on YouTube, she was also thinking about it. So I says, why don't we go together and I'll drive? And so we went together. I didn't do any filming when I was there because it's so busy, and I didn't want the side eyes and stuff of people, so I didn't do it. And yeah, I just wanted to have a really nice look. So I had certain things I wanted to get, which was mainly a bag from Jackie because she's my favourite, and some minis. And I did also think I quite fancied doing a brioche shawl. So they all have plans, and I kind of stuck to it. So first up was a new bag from Lovely Jackie. So I wanted one in green, or with some green on it, so that I could use it for my Cowl. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but Lovely Jackie gifted this to me. So this is she did give me this, but I did buy a little pouch as well from her. So this is a nice little zip pouch. It's kind of could almost be used as a makeup bag. It's like waterproof on the inside. It's got a little tassel on the outside. There we go. I haven't decided what I'm putting in that yet, but it's there for if I need it. So this has got my Cowl yarn in it already. Jackie's bags are lovely. They're so well put together. You get loads of pockets. So there's 2 pockets on one side, and then this is new. This one's got a snap on it. Look at that. So we've got one with a snap. And also inside she puts a little key ring holders to put your stitch markers on, which I should do because I've got one on there. There we go. So put a little stitch marker on there. Here we go. Yeah, and that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 balls of yarn and some fluff in there. And there's still plenty of room. Well, not plenty of room, to be honest. It's pretty full, but it's a lovely size, and look at that pattern, it's gorgeous. So yeah, thank you, Jackie. She made me cry when she gave me that, so there you go. Lovely. So there's my bag. That was my first purchase. That's what I wanted to definitely get. And after that I wanted to get some minis. I don't remember why. I think I wanted them for my scrappy blanket, but saying that, I've got like a big box of them over there, so I don't think I really needed them, but I've got them. So I went to see Kelly on Lay Family Yarns. Oh, she had so much lovely stuff, but I didn't want to get anything major at Yarndale because I'm going to the retreat, aren't I? And there'll be loads of all the yarn there. So I might take a few pennies with me when I go there. But she did have some lovely big bags of little bits and bobs. And these are anything from 5 grams and over. Most of them are about 7 grams, but just a big bag of little solid minis of all the colours. It was in a plastic bag, but I just popped it in here. So it wasn't as crinkly, but you can see there's loads of colours. I did think when I got them home that I could have done a sweet shop blanket with them, but you need 10 grams and these are not 10 grams. So I could still do it and just see how big a square I can get out of them. I'm still on the fence what I'm going to do with them, but they're good to have in lots of minis, and eventually I've been waiting, so I want to keep them up, so I will get these balled up and put so that I can use them. She had some gorgeous colours, just lovely. The zebra yarn, I can't stop looking at the zebra yarn, it looks so nice. Right, so the other thing I got was this, because it's so unusual. So this is a little braid of 5 gram individual 5 gram minis. How cute are these? So this is from Cuddle Bums, which I think they specialise in minis, and this is called Birthday Rainbow. It's 100 grams, so 20 5 gram minis. And yeah, again, I've been dying to take this apart and get them balled up. So it also includes a little blue ducky on there. They had loads of stuff. Nice little, like they had like chocolate boxes of all little tiny minis, and it just looked so pretty. There was so much to see. So yeah, that's going to be fun to put into my blanket. And then I found a new to me dyer and yarn producer, which is Mamie and Florrie. And I got these from them. So these are inspired by places, so the colourway is inspired by places. So this and I chose, this yarn is a merino bamboo mix, so it's 80% merino and 20% bamboo. It's lovely. It feels so soft. It's 400 grams for 400 meters, sorry, for 100 grams, and the colour. So they put their colourways as like a what 3 words, so that you can look up the place. But this is Atticus Boo in Buxton. I did look it up, but it just looked like a random place. And this one is Oklahoma, Manchester. How lovely is that? It's blowing out a little bit, but it is very... Where's a good place for it? It's so lovely. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll put these together and make a all about that brioche shawl, which is a triangular shawl with brioche and garter stitch. Oh, I love them. Yes, I'm excited to work with those. So I didn't go crazy. That's what I bought. I didn't buy loads. I squidged lots. There was loads of squidging done, and there was lots and lots of lovely things to see. Lots of people to talk to, so yes, we had a lovely time. It was tiring though, I was pretty tired when I got home. But while we were there, I also saw this lady. And we looked at her stuff and I was like, oh, it's so pretty, but I don't really need another hobby. And she makes, I don't know, she must dye it herself, I think. Yarn bats and fibre and bits and bobs for weaving and stuff. And I didn't get anything there, but I started following her on Instagram, and then she put up a post saying that she was taking a break from the business or changing the way that she works, and she was selling off a lot of her stock. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I bought, sorry for the crickling, this bag of different bits and pieces. What's the details there? So her name is Eleanor Decor. Which is on, so she makes art spun yarns, hand spun art yarns, wool roving, hand dyed yarn, and it came with a little circular loom and a frame. And that's some of the thread there. A needle to make like weaving. And also with that, it came with a little, with a book with different methods, or with pictures. On how to do it. So I'm not saying I'm going to be doing it anytime soon, but I thought that would be quite nice to do. So I got it. There you go. So there we go. That's my last piece of... I think that's the last thing I've bought. Yes, it is. Actually, looking up in my little cubby up here, it's looking a little bit bare. That doesn't mean I need to buy more yarn. It needs to be much more bare before I buy any more yarn. So, I'm ready for the Cowl. As I said, I've got my yarn all in my bag. I did also buy some fluff. Where did I get this from? I just got it off Etsy, I can't remember. But this is Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk Unicolor. A luxurious blend of brushed alpaca and mulberry silk. So I thought it might be a bit like Surrey alpaca. So there's the thread there. It's got quite a halo. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for the Cowl, but I might be able to use it with any leftover yarn from the project, because 4 skeins is a lot of yarn for a shawl, so I don't think you'd use all of it. So I might be able to do a little faded hat or something, maybe with the held with the Surrey. So yeah, but I've got it in there just in case, and I'm ready to go. So I will probably, if I work on anything else while I'm working on the Cowl, I will do a podcast. But last year there was so much knitting in the Cowl, and I wanted to keep up with it, that I didn't manage to really knit on a great deal else. So I will be vlogging my progress on the Cowl, and if I'm knitting on anything else, then I will pop that in as well. So please join me for those vlogs. There'll be like weekly vlogs throughout October based on that and whatever else I'm doing. So last year it was half term and we did a bit of half terminus, but that's at the end of the month, so you might see a bit of that. But if not, please do join me. It would be lovely to see you there. Please like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. I have had a few extra subscribers and viewers, I think mainly from lovely Sherrie. Ollie and Bella had mentioned my channel on her last video, so I will send some love back to Sherrie. Please watch her if you don't already. And who else have I been watching this week? Who's new to me? Oh, I have been watching Nitty Mel. She's based in, oh, I'm going to get it wrong. It's either Australia or New Zealand. I'm really sorry. Anyway, she did some really good Cowl vlogs as well last year, and then she kind of went a bit quiet, but she's started up her podcast again, and she's knitting some lovely garments in some really nice natural yarns and things like that. So go and watch Nitty Mel over there, and also lovely Rachel at This Nitty Life. I'm sharing the love there. So there we go. Anything else I need to tell you? I don't think so. But yes, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely, lovely couple of weeks. And I will see you soon on the channel, whether it's in the vlogs or in a podcast if I put one up. But yeah, as I said, please like, subscribe. You know, all that kind of business. Alright, so take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a lovely 2 weeks. Happy knitting, and I'll see you soon. Bye.